Hi everyone, welcome back. Unfortunately, I've got some bad news and I've got a PSA that I need to bring to you guys ASAP. So today we had the TU15.1 maintenance. We have had patch notes. They've been updated slightly, which I will go over in this video with you guys. We'll go through the patch notes again. So for any of you that haven't seen the previous patch notes or haven't seen the most recent ones, I'll go through those. But the thing that I would really want to discuss right off the bat here is that this tweet from Yannick here. It says PSA, it appears playing conflict may result in item upgrades being reset to 0. Do not play conflict until we get this figured out. For those affected, we will try to find a solution. Now, I'd actually seen initial reports of this a little bit earlier. I think I saw Rogue Gold mention something about this. Kamikaze Von Doom, actually, I believe he had his expertise or his upgrades reset from like 56 down to 0 or something crazy like that, which is just absolutely insane. And it appears to be affecting a lot of people that are going into conflict. Now, don't get me wrong, conflict is there's a small amount of people playing conflict, but this should never happen. This should never have made its way into this maintenance, and I'm not quite sure how Yannick and the team are going to be able to reverse what's been done here to those people who have been affected. So this is me just saying, guys, if you do play conflict, don't play it as of the maintenance today until this has been figured out, if you don't want your upgrades being affected. So you still keep your expertise level. So if you're expertise level 10, whatever, then you'll still keep that, but it will reset everything down, all your upgrades down to 0. And that's not just stuff that you have on you. From my understanding, that is also anything that you have in your stash and on all of your characters. Any items that you have that's been upgraded will be reset to 0, which I mean, that is a ton of resources. If for example Kamikaze Von Doom, if he's got 56 upgrades, I mean, I don't even want to know the amount of resources he's had to put into that. And I don't know if that's items that have had to use exotic components, all that sort of stuff. All I can imagine that Yannick's going to be able to do here is, for those people who have been really affected by this, they'll need to be reimbursed all of the resources that they've needed in order to create those upgrades. They'll need to get those in caches so that they can get those upgrades back. That's the only thing I can think of. I can't think of a way that they can actually just reverse it in game, the same way they couldn't really do it with the expertise changes that have come recently, where they're going to be providing caches for those resources. So yeah, just make sure you're not going to conflict at the moment. The other thing is, before we go over the patch notes here quickly, the other thing is that obviously today we had the expertise changes, the XP changes. For myself personally, barely anything really changed. I mean, ultimately, as Yannick has actually confirmed, the amount of experience that you've gained hasn't changed with your expertise system, so you've not lost experience. It's been recalculated for the way it should have been, and so you may see a drop in your expertise as a result of that. For me personally, there was hardly any. I saw some people saying that if your expertise like 16 or 14, it was dropping down to maybe like 12. So not a huge difference. But also what I will say, guys, is that for anyone who has been affected by this, in terms of the caches that Yannick said that we should be getting for those resources that we've lost, I don't think those caches are coming towards the end of this week, or maybe even the end of next week or something like that. So don't expect those anytime soon. All right, with that said, let's go over the patch notes, which has confirmed something which is, again, unfortunately, a little bit disappointing. All right, so here are the updated patch notes. So obviously I said previously that the devs went back on the idea of removing Dreadedict, Blue Screen and Catharsis from the exotic caches. They can still be obtained from those caches, which is really good. One thing you may have noticed in the game is that the Kingbreaker, the model on the Kingbreaker in-game, will look like the TKB, which is the new assault rifle, and that's how it should have always been. It's been looking like an AK, but that was the wrong model. It's meant to be a TKB. And also the Dare LMG, which had the I think had the Stoner model, is actually not the Stoner model. It's the new, I can't remember what weapon it is now, but it's the new LMG. So that they will look different in the game, but that's how they should have initially been intended. The other thing is here is fixed that the pulse immunity is now protecting against headshots. Fix the issue with the headshots made with Heartbreaker set equipped, given the bonus armor, even if the player has 100% pulse resistance. So for anyone who's playing PvP where this was from what I can tell, being a big issue in PvP. This has now been fixed, so that's obviously good for those PvP players. Other than that, we've got obviously corrected the expertise progression so that proficiency ranks gained with kill XP will no longer count double towards expertise levels. That's been updated here. Placeholder names are no longer present for some cosmetic premium rewards on the rewards track screen for languages other than English. These are so that's there as well. So with the assault rifle, here we go. Fix an issue with the assault TKB icon not being centered in the inventory tab. Actually, I didn't know that was much of an issue, but one of the known issues here, let's just get onto the known issues. Images from all the Season 9 leagues represent the wrong enemy factions. Fairview Crew Apparel event is not available in the game. Now this is, for me, again, is disappointing. Now I know it's only going to be 2 days because Yannick has confirmed that it will be going live on Thursday, but it was initially meant to be going live, I believe, on 24th. I think it was last Tuesday. And obviously they pushed it back to come out with TU15.1, which was meant to be today, but it was only as part of the patch notes that we noticed that the Fairview Crew Apparel event wasn't available, and they'd confirmed it had been delayed again. In the game, actually, if you go to the season, it will show Fairview Crew coming out next Tuesday, 6 days. That's actually wrong, so don't look at that. It will be coming out Thursday. That's if it's not delayed again. And I'll be honest, guys, it may be delayed in a sense that, you know, if with this issue in conflict at the moment, I assume that Massive are scrambling to try and fix this issue. And if they're going to want to push this fix out, you know, soon, it may delay the Apparel event. Possibly. I'm not saying it will, because right now it is Thursday, but it wouldn't be surprised if that did actually happen. So, yeah, a little bit disappointing on that for sure. All right, well, that's about it, guys. I just wanted to get this out so that you knew what the situation was. Someone actually said, I think there's a comment below that says, here, it says from Callie, will this be announced in-game? Like, will you block the ability to play it, as in conflict, and or put an announcement in-game like with TU15 before it came out, or what? That's actually a really good question. And I would highly recommend that if Yannick hasn't considered doing this, that this be considered now, because a lot of people that play this game who maybe play PvP or whatever will not follow the official accounts for the Division 2. And even if they did follow the official Division 2 account, this is not coming from the official Division 2 account. This is coming from Yannick. So unless you're following him directly, or maybe other content creators who are also talking about this, you're probably not going to know. And so you know, if you're going to go into conflict, you may be penalised as a result. So it would be good for there to be at least some kind of announcement in the game. Although I suspect that's going to require maintenance and actually put it in the game, which I don't think they're going to want to do. I'm not really sure what the logistics are around that, but I think they seriously need to consider this, especially if this is going to be you know, at least a couple of days for this fix to come in, come out for everyone. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this one. Leave a comments down below. Let me know what you think about all of this. As I've said previous videos, this game is like a roller coaster. You know, you're up and down and up and down and up and down all of the time, and it's part of it, right? It is part of the experience. You know, I'm not happy to make these kind of videos. I'm really not. But with that said, and as Yannick and actually Morten Ryberg has said, I believe recently, the team that's working on the Division 2 is very small, and they've got a really big game. So whilst I don't like these problems, I will cut them a little bit of slack based on that. Because even games like Destiny at the moment, for example, with the huge team they've got working on Destiny 2 right now, have issues. I mean, there is and again, I know I'm going off track here, but there is a build currently in Destiny 2 that basically makes you invincible, to the point where almost all content is honestly just a breeze. And I'm sure that's not intended. And I'm sure they're going to fix that. And so, you know, this stuff happens to all games, regardless of the size of the studio and the size of the game. It's just, when you've got a game like the Division 2, which, you know, which has had issues for so long, you would hope that they'd be able to nip this stuff in the bud ASAP. But sometimes these things happen, and I'm going to cut in some slack. If they can fix this as soon as possible, that'll be great. But guys, don't go into conflict. I believe this doesn't affect the Dark Zone, by the way. I believe this is only affecting conflict. But don't hold me to that. So if it were me, just don't PvP at all. Until next one, Epic out.